JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 11th of May, 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order to not miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD brokers website here, and specifically our kind of research page, which you can find under Start Learning here and Market News and Analysis. So yeah, check us out here. I believe you can find a lot of information, useful information. Okay, so now then the first one on the pickup here is Nikkei 225, so it pushed higher, but as you can see here, it managed to stay below this 26,300 zone. I talked about this and I said that if we continue trading below it, then yep, another decline could be possible. So basically, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, but basically the same analysis is valid. As I said before, that as long as we remain below that hurdle, then yep, another decline here could be possible, where we're going to aim for that this 25,775 area, approximately around here, which, as you can see here, marks the or should I say is marked near the lows of the 24th of February, near the low the 4th of March, also near the low of yesterday, and it's actually not far from the high of the 16th of March. So in other words, good potential target to aim for, but as I said, as long as we remain below this highlighted area right here, if we can climb back above it, then maybe we could consider a bit of a larger correction here to the upside, so keep that in mind. Shanghai Composite, very quickly on that one, this one pushed nicely to the upside, and yep, kind of in a way I would say mission accomplished, because what I was aiming for was this downside line taken from the high of the 3rd of March, so I was considering maybe to see a bit of a retracement here. And yep, now the question is, can we see a hold up here? And if we can, then another decline could be possible. But if this gets broken, well, I'm not saying that I'm gonna become very bullish or something. No, because still there are some obstacles on the way higher. Let me just grab. Just bear with me one moment. Cannot grab the curve. There we go. So then I'll just aim for this hurdle, this 3,160 zone. I talked about this previously. Previously I looked at it as a good area of support. Now it could play its role as a good area of resistance. So yeah, at the moment, guys, like I said, if you're looking for some higher levels, then wait for a break of this this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 3rd of March. For the downside, now again, I get it. If we get a hold up near this downside line, yes, a move back down could be possible. However, looking at all this, preferably, I would like to wait for a drop below this 2,955 area, but I get it, we might be missing out on a bit of territory here, so I would say if we start dropping somewhere below this little hurdle, or even actually I would say this little hurdle, the high of yesterday near the 3,044 area, then maybe I could consider a bit of a decline, and we'll take it from there. The German index DAX. So yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride. Yesterday I talked about this, and I said that basically, yeah, we could see a push higher, but if this area holds, this 13,577-78 zone holds, then another decline could be possible. Now, in a way, I would say this kind of worked out because, yeah, we got a push through this barrier, but we ended the day still below it. So it's, in a way, it kind of stayed below it. So we can, let's say, kind of count that one in. It created this false breakout. Now let's see if we can see a slide back down. However, there is a little bit of an issue because the cash index is currently sitting slightly above this hurdle. So that's why at the moment I would say be very careful. If we start moving back below this area, below this 13,577 territory, then yep, I will aim for the downside again, and I'll aim for this area in between the 13,150 and the 200 levels. So yeah, for the upside, well, first of all, this needs tidying up. This needs to go. Some of the levels are no longer valid. I think you need to redraw this. And yeah, so what I can say here is that if we push above yesterday's high, which is roughly around this 13,720 territory. Actually, let me adjust this a little bit here because yeah, it's a little bit way too tight here. Now, yeah, if we climb above yesterday's high, then this, of course, increases the chances for this index to go for a larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that we are still overall trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of January. So, in other words, yep, there is still potential for this one to go higher if we climb above yesterday's high. And initially, then we'll aim for this 21-day EMA. But if that gets cleared, yes, the next target is this downside line. The S&P 500. So very quickly on that one. So yeah, this one continued its journey south yesterday, but given that it opened up with a slight gap to the upside, it kind of opened up, you know, around here somewhere, but yeah, it ended up in positive territory for the day. The index did gain, yes, like I said, did gain a little bit. It was the second best performing index in the US. And Nasdaq was the first one, and Dow unfortunately ended up in negative territory. But coming back to this, guys, looking at this technical picture, in a way there is still potential for this one to move lower. Currently the cash index is sitting at around 4,014-15 level, so basically above yesterday's close, but still below this highlighted territory. So my game plan remains the same as long as we stay below that area, below that highlighted area, then yes, we could see another decline here and another move to the downside. If you want to be a little bit more comfortable with lower levels, then certainly you could wait for a drop below yesterday's low, which is roughly around that 3,958 zone. But again, we can, like I said, we could start looking at some lower levels if we do retrace here to the upside, but we fail to move and stay above this highlighted territory, which is roughly between the 4,057 and 4,061 levels. If we somehow manage to climb back above it, well, yeah, we could start maybe considering a move higher, but would actually prefer to wait maybe for a push somewhere above this little territory here, or even actually maybe it would be enough already above to move above the 4081 level, just to maybe consider a bit of a larger correction here to the upside. So in other words, if it pushes through the high of Monday, then yeah, I will consider maybe a bit of a retracement here to the upside. Actually, this arrow is way too big. Initially, I'll just aim for this area, this 4,147, and then I'll just take it from there. Nasdaq 100 very quickly on that one. So yeah, yeah, Nasdaq was, of course, the well, not of course, but in general, the best performer yesterday, from among the top three. Technology, of course, drove the technology sector drove the market higher, then followed by communication services and healthcare. The worst performing sectors were real estate, utilities, and basic materials. So, so yeah, that's why we saw those other indices falling down a little bit. But technology, yeah, was a good performer. If we look at this, what's happening right now here on Nasdaq from the technical perspective, we can see that overall, yeah, we're still trading below this 12,710 zone. When I previously talked about this, I said that, you know, I'm watching this hurdle. If we drop below this, then yeah, I'll aim for lower levels. Well, that's what happened. We dropped lower. We found support near this 12,136 level during market hours, during trading hours. Because I think on the cash index we fell a little bit lower than that, but yeah, then we saw a bit of a rebound. So now, if you're looking for some further declines, guys, well, a break probably below this hurdle would be needed. This 12,136 territory, a nice drop below it, yeah, may open the door towards lower levels, because the forthcoming lower low would be confirmed. Around here, this is what I wanted to point out as well. This area, this level here, near the 12,208 zone, which is the lowest point of March of 2021, is also, yep, you can see that also acting out nicely here. So in other words, if we drop below this all here, then yeah, this could open the door towards lower levels, and well, our next target potentially could be somewhere around here near the 11,512 zone, or even we could go further south towards the 10,957. But again, at the moment, let's keep it short and simple. I would say, yeah, the cash index is currently sitting at around 12,431 zone. So we're basically above yesterday's close. However, we are somewhere, actually, let me redraw this level here, because I think that this could be a more interesting one to watch. So we're still below this 12,542 zone, so it acted as a very nice area of resistance yesterday and on Monday as well. So if we climb above this, then I will consider it maybe a bit of a move, I would say larger correction to the upside. DXY dollar index, so it climbed higher and managed to stay above that 103.82 level. Now yesterday I said to you that keep your eyes on that one, because if we manage to close below it, or even better, maybe we manage to stay below this 103.40 zone, somewhere around here, then that's when we will consider maybe a bit of a retracement here. However, at the moment you can see that somehow it seems that the dollar index is not really favorable for the bears, and yep, we're seeing this one continuing to slowly grind higher. Previously, when I talked about this one, I said that keep your eyes on the monthly chart as well, for example, because currently we're sitting near the highest point of 2017, so we're just kind of still resting around that area. Slightly above that, we do have some other potential targets, like for example this 105.41 level, or even better, the 107.31 level right here, marked by the high of the highest, or actually the highest point of December of 2002. But again, that's a little bit further north. At the moment, like I said, I'm keeping an eye on this area. Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on that highest point of 2017, which is near that 103.82 level. So I want to see how it's going to continue trading in relation to it, because if it suddenly starts falling lower here and falls below the 103.40, then yep, that's when we could consider maybe a bit of a larger retracement here to the downside. Now jumping into gold, and we mission accomplished, I would say. We managed to reach my target here. My target was this upside line taken from the low of the 9th of August of 2021. So the interesting bit, of course, is the fact that we managed to break this. Now, again, this upside line is a little bit on the tentative side, because if you because we have this point here, touching point here, which is the 28th of January, but let's say we missing out a little bit here on the 15th of December 2021. So if we drive a little bit lower to capture that point, then we'll see that we are actually resting nicely on this upside line, taken from the low the 9th of August. So this is, guys, this is the issue we always have with these trend lines. So although they are helpful, they are useful, but you need to be very careful with them as well, because like I said, like a small little thing like that might change a little bit the whole perception. But anyway, so if we draw it this way, then we'll see that we're still kind of sitting above this upside line. We nevertheless we tested it. That's either way how you're going to draw this, but we've tested this upside line, and now the question is, can we see a rebound from here? Well, I would say a lot will depend on dollar, of course, as well. Then if that one continues to rally, then well, I mean, gold might see this one, gold might continue drifting lower, and it might drop below this upside line again, and so on and so on. Basically, potentially then we could aim for this 1821 level, and then we'll go just from there. At the moment, like I said, yeah, it's an interesting one. Let's see if we can get a rebound or not. If you're looking for, let's say, some higher levels, maybe if you want to see this one moving back towards the 1918 zone or even above that, well, probably wait for a break of this short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 18th of April, and then we'll just take it from there. WTI Oil. So yesterday I talked about this, and I said that keep your eyes on the 100.19 zone and the this upside line taken from the low of the 2nd of December. So we got a test of that line, yes, and we did get a little breakout today, but as you can see here, it quickly reversed to the upside. Keep your eyes today on the crude oil inventories from the US. So yep, we have a lot of oil numbers. We have the CPIs as well coming out from the US. So yeah, keep that in mind. But at the moment, the technical picture, what I said to you previously, that maybe, just maybe, we could see this one forming a possible rising wedge pattern. However, if that is the case, then we need to see a clear breakout. So either way, either it's the lower side of the rising wedge or the this upside line, yeah, we need to see a clear drop below this upside line. Now, in terms of the upside here, basically, as long as the price stays in that pattern, yep, it could continue, let's say, grinding higher slowly. It could still move to the upside. I need to probably get rid of this highlighted area because it's a little bit in the way here, because initially I looked at it as a potential maybe idea for a range, but I think that that needs to go. Now the things that I'm going to be looking at here, of course, are some of these recent highs. Let me just remove some of this as well, and there we go. So this is going to be a little bit more accurate, I would say. So if you're looking for some upside, well, basically wait for a push above the 104.13 area, somewhere around here. That's the high of yesterday. A nice good pop above it would also place the commodity above all of its EMAs here on our daily chart, and potentially maybe more buyers could join in. However, as I mentioned recently, that recently we've seen this commodity kind of oscillating around that 21-day EMA, so it's kind of up and down here. So even if it climbs back above the this 21-day EMA, yes, it could push a little bit higher for a few days, but then it kind of reverses back down. So yeah, a lot of things to consider here, guys. So that's why don't just purely rely and just don't become very, very bullish. Let's say if we do climb above this this 21-day EMA, yeah, we could see a move higher, but again, we need to take everything carefully here. At the moment, if we just evaluate this structure here, we'll see that yeah, it's forming higher highs and higher lows. So in a way, there is still, yeah, this was a good bouncing ground for this commodity. Can we see another higher high? Well, again, that's let's wait and see. But let's go slowly on this, and yeah, and then we can try to squeeze something out of it. Litecoin, very quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on Litecoin, but yeah, Litecoin is, yeah, it drifted nicely to the downside on Monday. Yesterday it did try to recover somewhat. Today you can see that yeah, it's not really the best place to be in right now, because again you can see here it's drifting nicely to the downside, and yeah, if we continue, if we drop below yesterday's low, I would say then yep, this could open the door towards lower levels, because the forthcoming lower low would be confirmed. But then yeah, the next target for us in general, the overall target is this 41.66 level. However, before that, we could still maybe see a test of this area somewhere around here. Let me just put this on the chart. There we go. That's the low of the 26th of November of 2020, and that's near the 70. I think that's 64.60 zone. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one. If we drop below yesterday's low, for the upside now. Let me just reuse this downside line. I think it's going to go well around here, and yep, it's a tentative one, but nevertheless we'll put this one on the chart. So in order to go for some higher levels, not only that we will need to see a push above this 91.67 level, but also a break of this downside line, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Jumping into a few pairs, AUD and ZD. So yeah, this one is kind of stuck here. I talked about this one, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one is still trading above this upside line. We are seeing a bit of a rebound right now, but not from this upside line. Actually, just from this area here, the high of the inside swing high of the 29th of April near the 1.0978, and yeah, we're seeing a nice push through that. Yesterday we fell below the 1.10 zone. I talked about this, and but as I said, yeah, we found support around here, and now we're pushing higher. Now one thing we might consider here is this downside line, which is currently getting tested. If we break through this, then yep, I'll go for some higher levels. If we continue to hold, maybe another decline here, another correction lower could be possible towards this upside line drawn from the low the 15th of March. And ZDJPY, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but yeah, first thing that I want to draw here is, of course, my favorite Fibonacci. And yeah, we've did the 23, the 38.2. Now we're approaching this 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. Yeah. However, before that, we met the 100-day EMA, which did provide a bit of support here, from which we have rebounded somewhat. So in general, to be honest, this one is not really following this, so we can actually, in order to get it out of the way, we can remove it and just focus on some of the key support and resistance levels. Now, one thing for sure, of course, is this this area that I'm going to mark here. Sorry, wrong line here. Just bear with me one moment. So there we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna mark this one here, the 81.64 zone, approximately around here. So this is gonna be the one I'm gonna be watching for the downside. Let's say if I want to aim for lower levels, let's say for this upside, for this 200-day EMA, then I would need to see a drop below this 81.64 level. If it doesn't drop below this, or at least I would say if it doesn't stay, let's say if it does drop but doesn't stay below this, then yeah, maybe we'll continue being very careful with further declines. But if we drop and stay below it, then yeah, my next target is the 200-day EMA. For the upside, if you're looking for some higher levels, now of course I would prefer to maybe wait for a push above this 83.34 level right here, which acted as a fantastic area of support recently, and now it could take the role of resistance. So a nicely push through it, yeah, may attract more buyers, but again, depending on how all this is going to play out here, where we will be at the time, let's say if we do approach this hurdle, I want to see how, where we will be in relation to this downside line as well, because this is a short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 21st of April. Yeah, it's a tentative one, but nevertheless, let's see if it's gonna, it could do its magic and hold again. Either way, guys, a nice good break through this whole thing here, this key resistance area and this downside line would be more attractive for a few more buyers. USD JPY, so I'm still watching this one with a lot of interest, because again, we are now testing the this upside line taken from the low of the 7th of March, and yeah, so at the moment we're kind of resting on it. I'm still of course keeping an eye on this 131.25 zone, because that's the key area of resistance. So if we do pop nicely above it, then I will go for the upside. Now, in terms of the downside, of course, obviously we need to see a break of this upside line, and maybe also a drop below yesterday's low, which is roughly around that 129.80 area. So yeah, keep that in mind. Gbp Usd. Gbp Usd, yeah, it's I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, but we are still holding near this 1.2252 area. We rebounded. We're trying to make our way higher here, but yeah, we are still keeping an eye on this downside line and also this 1.2411. If we continue to trade below all that, the downside scenario is still not off the table. And if you're a little bit on the careful side, a drop below this 1.2252 level could be a little more attractive option to wait for, because a nice good break below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low. EURUSD. So I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but basically last time I looked, I said that keep your eyes on this this area right here, this 1.4947. If we clear that, then my next target is the 1.5055, which we managed to reach perfectly, and then we overcame it. We pushed higher, tested the 100-day EMA, and we found some resistance near this 1.5253 zone. So around here, that is the lowest point of February of 2021. I'm going to mark this, and in general I think that's the lowest point of 2021. Yeah, that's correct. So good potential area of resistance. Now we just need to see a break of it in order to go for some higher lows. Well, it's just. The key word here is just, but let's see if that's going to happen. But at the moment, in general, everything's looking quite nice here. Let's see if this is not going to end up forming somewhat of a bullish flag. So let's say today it could still maybe hang around somewhere around here, or maybe even tomorrow hang around somewhere around here, maybe even drift a little bit lower. So like I said, let's see if this is not going to end up being a bullish flag. Either way, if it is a bullish flag, then or let's say if it could end up being a bullish bullish flag or a bullish pennant. Still, either way, we need to see a push through this 1.5253 level in order to go for some higher levels. And finally, EURUSD. So this one is a bit of an annoying one. So, but basically, you can see why I keep on saying already for the past few videos that in order for me to go for some higher levels on this one, I need to see not only a break of this, well, actually a break of this downside line and a push up of the 1.0636 level. So far, I'm not getting that. And I need to get rid of this line here. No, not needed. But you can see now we're drifting back down. But for the downside, also, I will take a bit of a conservative approach and wait for a drop below the 1.0495 area. And yeah, then I'll go for some lower levels. At the moment, at this point, I'm just observing this one. I can get rid of this upside line, no longer needed, because it's a bit of a madness here, a choppiness, choppy madness. So yeah, for now, I'm just waiting for a clear breakout here before I could consider the next short-term directional move. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments. I appreciate all that. If you do have any requests, let's say for certain instruments, then you can always leave it in the comment box after the video is finished. And then yeah, I'll pick it up on my next session. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.